My dearest Pola, I've been thinking about the past again. About the long-lost friends, our ambitions and achievements. I've been thinking about my mistakes, too. I might have found a way to undo them. A new project I've been working on. Your old man needs your help, Pola. There's some things I've been meaning to tell you. So I ask you to come to Sulislav. Your friends will be happy to see you. Loving father, Joseph Zagorsky.
A dirty, greasy rag. A must-have for any mechanics workshop. Hard to believe this piece of cloth used to be white. Now it's soaked with mechanical oil and covered in dirt. Hard to believe this piece of cloth used to be white. Now it's soaked with mechanical oil and covered in dirt. How's it going, Manfred?
Apollonia, mein Gott! It's good to see you.
You too, handsome. Still building my dad's mad designs, I see.
And you're still flying. What brings you to Sulislav? Not much to do in the capital.
Father's like my brother. He wants to discuss something about that Valkiria DNA and some new research he's doing. Apparently it's important.
Well, if someone knows how to deal with these bastards, it's Professor Zagorsky. You'll probably find him in his workshop. I'd join you, but I still have to finish up with this engine.
Sure. Keep it up, Vanny. I wanted to ask you something, though. Mind if I borrow that roll of duct tape from your workstation?
Sorry, Pola. I've got to have the tape on standby until I figure out what's causing the engine to overheat.
Have you checked the fluid level?
To the milliliter.
The voltage on the power output?
Within parameters.
The airflow?
Perfect circulation.
Well then, I'm stumped. If we're to figure this out, some hot coffee is in order. I'll bring you a cup.
Danke. Coffee's the fuel of good ideas.
I can't help but wonder, how did you end up as my dad's assistant?
Half luck, half misfortune. I used to be a test pilot in Hamburg.
That was before the Loyalist secession, right?
Yeah, seeing how I did not want to march under Valkiria's banner, I fled to Kiev. There, I got my pilot license and learned the craft. When I saw your father's planes in action during the Operation Eagle's flight, I knew I wanted to fly one of them.
And here you are. Fascinating. You know anything about this Valkiria? Father seems pretty concerned with her.
I had the dubious pleasure of meeting her back when it was just a counting machine. She used to help us with aerodynamics calculations. She did a lot of heavy math actually, overseeing factories, market predictions, and the like.
I know that much, but how do you get from that to ruling an army?
The more data was fed to her, the smarter she became, to the point where she could almost tell the future. Eventually, a group calling themselves the Loyalists decided that her judgment is so impeccable that she should have political power. They've got supporters in France, Germany, even Britain. You know the rest.
To think that the faction in control of half of Europe is taking orders from a machine.
We'll see how it goes. The future's not yet written, Pola.
Keep it up, Manny.
You too, Pola.
The plane's engine is hooked up to that diagnostics panel. For testing purposes, most likely. One of Dad's best designs. And Manfred gets to fly it every day. This is Manfred, a mechanic, and the test pilot for my father's latest designs. And a good friend of mine. I can always use a roll of duct tape. Mind if I borrow that roll of duct tape from your workstation?
I still need it in case I find whatever is messing up the engine.
That may take a while. Should I get you that coffee to speed up the process?
Yeah, that would be great.
Hard to believe this piece of cloth used to be white. Now it's soaked with mechanical oil and covered in dirt. One of Dad's best designs. And Manfred gets to fly it every day. The plane's engine is hooked up to that diagnostics panel. For testing purposes, most likely. Let's give that engine a spin. Wow! It's overheating like crazy. Hopefully that's not the final prototype. That's Philip, Sulislav's chamberlain. I think he's been here as long as the palace itself. Hi, Philip.
Good morning, Miss Pola. Your father has informed me that you'll be arriving at Sulislav, but it seems he himself forgot.
Lost in his work again?
Alas, it would appear so. He locked himself in his workshop again. You know how he gets when he focuses on something.
No worries, Philip. I'll find a way to get to him.
Thank you. That annoying little automaton may help you with that.
Pascal, where is he?
Last I've seen him, he was in the dining room, disassembled. Quite a mess your father has made.
I'll be sure to check on him soon. Once again, where can I find my dad?
Professor Zagorski is in his workshop. Unfortunately, he locked himself in and is not responding to knocking.
Don't you have the keys to the entire palace?
Keys? Yes. However, Professor decided to put an electric lock on his door. If there's anyone here who can open those, it's that pesky little robot, Pascal.
Where did you say I can find Pascal?
Last I've seen him, he was in the dining room, disassembled. Quite a mess your father has made.
That sounds gruesome.
Not really, unless you consider the disarray he left behind. Professor has turned Pascal off for a bit to tweak some components. I don't know if he got around to it, but the robot is still sitting on the table.
I better go check on him. You keep fidgeting with that monocle. Something's wrong with it. Maybe you need glasses.
No, that's not it. In fact, my vision's 2020. It's just that the bloody thing keeps smudging. I had a spare, but a magpie snatched it. A magpie! Can you believe it?
If you don't need it, then why do you even wear that glass?
It's part of my image. I have to keep it pristine as to convey how thorough I am when it comes to cleaning.
It seems just a bit pedantic. Don't get worked up so much.
Let me tell you, between Tamara's paints and Manfred's greasy fingerprints, there's a lot of tidying to do around here.
See you later, Philip.
Have a nice day, Miss Pola.
Hey, Dad has finally switched to a hover car. Good for him. Einstein didn't invent those anti-grav generators for nothing. Sulislav Palace, the home to, and an informal workshop, of my father. Philip has a small handkerchief in his back pocket. He uses it to clean his monocle, which, may I add, doesn't really need any more cleaning. Philip will notice his handkerchief missing. Maybe I could switch it for something else. Then Dad put this suit of armor together himself, out of old scrap. You wouldn't guess it from the way it looks now. That's Tamara, a real Renaissance woman. A painter, a poet, a fashion icon, and most importantly, my dear friend. This used to be Tamara's paint stand. I can only imagine what terrible abuse it went through. The radio's ancient and run down, but the speaker still looks okay. I don't need to haul a broken radio with me. The speaker, on the other hand, looks just fine. I love tinkering with stuff like that. Who knows when it may come in handy? It's one of Einstein's anti-gravitational field generators. A marvel of science, really. That big glowy bit is just a field diffuser. All the real work is done by a small core module that disrupts the flow of gravitons, which Tamara is using as a paint stand. Typical artist. Tamara, could you take your utensils? I need to take the core module from that generator.
Oh no, Pola, please! I'm in the middle of painting.
Why not just move them somewhere?
No, I wish. As you can see, I broke my paint stand. It just fell apart.
Fine, fine. If I fix it for you, can I have that anti-grav?
Of course, and thank you, love.
It's one of Einstein's anti-gravitational field generators. A marvel of science, really. That big glowy bit is just a field diffuser. All the real work is done by a small core module that disrupts the flow of gravitons, which Tamara is using as a paint stand. Typical artist. Tamara, could you take your...
Oh no.
Why not just...
No, I wish.
Fine.
Of course.
I would need something to connect the broken parts of the stand. Strong glue or something similar. The dining room is on the other side of those windows. The dining room is on... Hey, it's that new electric lock. Knowing my dad, he's probably built in some sort of bypass. Maybe his automaton, Pascal, will be able to help me? I don't see a reason to go upstairs. Dad's workshop is on the ground floor. I don't think I can pick it open. Maybe Dad's automaton, Pascal, will be able to help me. Last I've heard, there were some renovations being made upstairs. Hey, it's that new electric lock. Knowing my dad, maybe his There's the door for Dad's workshop. I've got to find a way in. Dad, you in there? I don't think he heard me. This tapestry depicts some sort of medieval battle that went down not far from here. Dad and I used to study it in the evenings, making up names and stories for every one of those nights. This tapestry depicts some sort of medieval... Dad and I used to study it in the evenings, making up names and stories for every one of those nights. Then Dad put this suit of armor together. Now that's a sturdy piece of wood. The wardrobe is so heavy it's almost a bunker. It would be a perfect place to hide in. Gerimski's Jewess with Oranges. A prized possession. Tamara praises it as an example of Polish realism. For me, it just evokes this heavy feeling, like a harbinger of some kind of burden. Someone has been brewing coffee in here. I'm guessing Manfred. This stuff is his fuel. I'll help myself with a cup of coffee. Shucks, it's gone cold. Like Manfred always says, nothing's better than a hot cup of coffee. Except this one went cold quite some time ago. I got this speaker off of a disassembled radio receiver. It should work just fine. The same cannot be said for the radio. These windows have quite a nice view on the patio. These windows don't open. It's breezy enough here anyway. Gerimski's Jewess with Oranges. A pride for me, it just evokes this heavy feeling, like a harbinger of some kind of burden. There's Pascal, my dad's automaton assistant. A bit perturbed at the moment. Seems like he's missing some components. One of the ocular lenses is gone. A vocal modulator. A speaker, in other words. You don't have your anti-gravitational module. Here you are, Pascal. I'm gonna fix you up in no time. Let's see what's missing. Dad really did a number on you. I'll need some new parts. One of the ocular lenses is gone. A vocal modulator. A speaker, in other words. You don't have your anti-gravitational module. Here, let me connect that speaker. Say something, Pascal.
So dark. So cold.
Oh no, are you in pain?
No. I'm just being dramatic.
Okay then. He's still missing some parts. This tapestry depicts some sort of medieval Dad and I used to... There. Philip's in for a nasty surprise.
What the?
What happened, Philip?
My monocle! I tried to wipe a little speck off it, but the cloth, it's all covered in grease for some reason.
Hand it to me. I'm sure I can figure out a way to clean it.
That would be appreciated.
Ugh. Philip's monocle has got all sorts of greasy stains on it. To be fair, that's my fault. It's a small and immaculately clean handkerchief. Philip uses it to polish his monocle. This should get rid of the grease. There, it's shining. Philip's monocle, all cleaned up. It's a perfectly circular lens. I didn't go through all that trouble just to give the monocle right back. Besides, Philip doesn't really need it. He just wears it for show. that lens in. There. Blink once if you see me. Or don't, whichever you prefer. He's still missing some parts. Hi again, Philip.
Anything else I can help you with, miss?
See you later, Philip.
Have a nice day, Miss Pola.
That's not right. Manfred likes his coffee hot. I've placed this cup of coffee on top of an open engine. What could go wrong? I've placed this cup of coffee on top of an... The coffee's still cold. I must have missed a step. The plane's engine is hooked up to that diagnostics panel. For testing purposes, most likely. I've placed this cup of coffee. Let's give that engine a spin. It may not be flight ready, but it sure makes for a great beverage warmer. Huh. The running engine heated up the coffee. Are there simpler ways of heating up a cup of coffee? Perhaps. Do they involve operating heavy machinery? I don't think so. One hot cup of coffee. Just how Manfred likes it. Here's your coffee. Careful, it's hot.
Danke. Ouch! Even the handle's heated. Wait! That's it! Thermal conductivity. I should put in some ceramic heat sinks over the engine.
I take it you don't need duct tape for that?
Nein, you can have it, Pola.
This is Manfred, and a good friend of mine. Still busy, Manfred?
Just enjoying my break.
I'll take that duct tape now, thank you.
Just remember, it's a powerful tool, and it shouldn't be used recklessly.
Keep it up, Manny.
You too, Pola.
There, good as new. Tamara, I'll put your paints back here and relieve the anti-grav of its duty.
Oh, thank you, Pola. The generator is all yours, dear.
It's one of Einstein's anti-gravitational field generator, that big glowy bit. Well, let me take this anti-grav's core module and find it a more suitable function. The dining room is on the other side of those windows. The stand's good as new, except for all the tape. This little thingamajig is an anti-gravitational core module. It's supposed to disrupt the flow of gravitons, allowing it to hover above the ground. Here's your anti-grav drive. You'll be flying in no time. And there, everything should be fine. Get up, Pascal.
Thanks, Pola. I was getting bored. Immobility is not for me.
Listen, my dad locked himself in his workshop. Can you you help me open the lock?
Sure thing. Just point me there.
Great! What else can you do while we're at it?
I'm quite perceptive, you know, thanks to my internal scanner. I can detect many useful objects in my close proximity. Just ask if you need me to point them out. Other than that, I'm always happy to provide you with my sage advice. Sure. What do you need? You wanted to talk to your dad, isn't that right?
Yeah, that's why I activated you.
You can point me at the lock, and I'll open it. Happy to help.
I don't think I can pick it open. Maybe... Hey, Pascal. Let's see how this master key of yours works. Open this door for me.
Sure thing, but I may need a little help.
Remind me, what am I supposed to accomplish here?
The lock needs to be overridden. Connect the color-coded inputs and outputs by spinning the nodes.
Sure, I can do that.
Override executed. I'm in.
There he is. I can't figure out what these notes might relate to. It's just a bunch of numbers and map coordinates. A somewhat abstract depiction of an apple grove.
I remember Tamara painting it. The professor gave some very specific instructions about that picture.
Mom's portrait. I wish I remembered her more.
She was a pretty lady.
Dad just can't stop thinking up new projects.
Let's just hope none of them turns out to be like that automatic hedge trimmer.
Yeah, that one was scary. That's one hefty piece of stone. These papers have zero chance of escaping. At the moment, I don't have the authority to liberate these notes from their paperweight prison.
Freedom for the cellulose!
That's one hefty piece of stone. These papers have zero chance of escaping. At the moment, I don't have the authority to liberate...
Freedom for the
Dad just can't stop thinking up new projects.
Let's just hope...
Yeah... Here we can see my dad, Joseph Zagorski, in his natural environment.
Don't make any sudden movements. You might spook him.
Hi, Dad.
What? Oh, Pola, my goodness, you're here already. Oh, forgive me, honey. I've gotten so caught up in research.
It's okay, Dad. I missed you.
Oh, I've missed you too. Oh, if only the circumstances were better.
What circumstances? You're being cryptic again, Dad.
Yes, sorry. Of course, I'll explain everything. How about we go catch some fresh air, I think I miss spring's arrival sitting in here.
Sure, lead the way. So, Dad, what is this important discovery you wanted to talk about?
Yes. Where do I begin? Do you remember Babbage's crew?
I recall the name. You tried to recreate Lord Babbage's difference engine.
The result of that project you now know as Valkiria.
Wait a second. You're telling telling me the sentient machine terrorizing Europe was made by you?
But it wasn't always like that. When we built her, it was a computing tool, not a dictator.
Then how did she end up as a mechanical brain with an army?
Babbage's crew. We gave her an ambition to accelerate the betterment of mankind. The best strategy she envisioned was to take control. To that end, she organized herself an army, her loyalists.
How exactly did a machine manage to gain political and military support?
While she was stationed in Antwerp, she oversaw the infrastructure in the region. Some considered her the greatest governor in history. Those were the first loyalists.
So they gave her even more power.
Thus became the Dominion. She was a godly machine to her subject. Seeing how accurate her predictions became, some started believing Valkiria could see into the future.
Babbage's crew? Wasn't it that group you started with your friends?
They were not just my friends. Members of the crew were some of the most brilliant minds of this century.
Figures, since you started Valkiria together. What happened to the rest of the group?
First, there was just me and another engineer, a German, very bright. Then along came Jean-Pierre, a brilliant mathematician, and his lady companion, the archivist.
What became of him?
Some time ago, his airship vanished somewhere over the Himalayas. I thought I'd never hear from them again. But recently, there were some developments about the heart.
What is this heart?
It's a device I created, Valkiria's failsafe, capable of stopping her conquest.
Then why didn't you use it already?
It was too late. Valkiria had already taken control over the Dominion. We had to flee. Then Jean-Pierre went missing, and I thought all was lost.
That new research of yours you mentioned in the letter. You were trying to find him.
Very astute of you, Pola. Yes, I believe I've... What's that sound?
Attention all civilians. This region has been annexed by Valkiria Dominion. Do not resist. Remain calm and rational. You have been taken under the protection of the superior ruler.
They move faster than I predicted. Pola, go to my workshop, find the journal. It's there with Babbage's crew.
But Dad!
I'll buy you some time. Go. You have to retrieve the Brassheart. And Pascal, you know what to do.
Of course. I won't leave her side, Professor.
Move, you two!
Where's that journal?
Professor said it's with Babbage's crew.
What does that even mean? I can't figure out what these notes might relate to. I better take that now. At worst, I can bash it against some loyalist noggin. A hefty marble globe. Dad just can't stop thinking up new problems.
Let's just hope none of them...
Yeah, that... Mom's portrait. I wish I remembered her more.
She was a pretty lady.
A photograph of my dad, with a bunch of his scientist friends. The description reads, Babbage's crew, 1911, Leopold's Park. There's an empty space behind that photo. The journal is with Babbage's crew. Of course. This is not what I expected.
It's a microfiche. Hand it to me. I can read those. Wow! There's a bunch of stuff here. Lots of calculations, some geographic data. Gonna take a while to read it all.
Skim it. We're short on time.
Okay. It says, your father has recreated the route of Jean-Pierre's flight. He got coordinates. The first piece of the heart should be there.
What do you mean, the first?
I'm not sure. Oh, here it is. The Brassheart consists of 3 parts. Your father was contacted by someone named Earl Grey. They said that they hid the second part in Monaco, and they wait for further instructions. We should find them too. Maybe they'll know where the third piece is.
Earl Grey is not a real name, is it? Never mind, we'll worry about that later. For now, we gotta get out of here. It's my father's journal, crammed onto a microfiche. It contains the location of a crashed airship. And part of something called the Brassheart is supposedly on board. There's also a mention of someone named Earl Grey. They are apparently searching for another piece of the Brassheart in Monaco.
Maybe they'll know where the final third piece is.
Open up! This palace has been seized by the Valkiria Dominion. Never! I will not let you here in your filthy boots. You'll make a mess here, ruin the carpets, over my dead body.
This is bad. They'll break through any second.
We have to get out some other way. Maybe through the dining room?
Pola! Find another way out. I'll hold them back here.
No time. Need to run. These windows don't open.
What are we gonna do then?
We'll have to create an exit ourselves. Philip will kill me when he finds out.
Worry about him later, please. For now, just smash that window.
The loyalists haven't gotten to the patio yet. This may be...
Pola! Oh God, you're okay.
Tomorrow, where's my dad? I have to get him here.
There's no way. He's surrounded by the front entrance. Manfred has already warmed up the airplane. Make a beeline to the airstrip.
What about you?
My motorbike is nearby. I'll sneak past the attackers.
You have an aunt in Monaco, right? Get there as fast as possible. You have to find someone named Earl Grey. And a device. A part of a mechanical heart.
What? Why?
There's no time. I'll contact you as soon as possible.
Where will you go?
The Himalayas. Long story. Go! Get out of here! The dining room is on the other side of those windows. I'll always be in awe of tomorrow's talents.
Ah, Professor Zagorski. It's been a while, old friend.
Mr. Ludwig Durr, tell your thugs to get off my lawn.
It's Commander now, not Mister. Be rational, Joseph. We can solve this peacefully.
We were beyond that a long time ago, traitor.
You're the treacherous one, Joseph. You've turned your back on your own creation.
The future will judge that, I think.
I know the future, Joseph. Valkiria has seen it. Its inevitability, its trajectory. It's glorious. Shame you don't have a place in it.
I've never shared your determinism.
As much as I'd love to sit down and discuss philosophies, I have more pressing matters. Answer me just one question. Where is the Brassheart?